Okay, I'm going to have you read this story, and then when you need some help, I will help you out, okay? So, Juliana, can you read this first paragraph here?
A serious case. I have a friend who is afraid of spiders, which isn't very unusual. A lot of people are afraid of spiders. I don't really like spiders much myself. I don't mind them if I see them outside in the garden, as long as we're not too big. But if one comes in the house, especially if it's one of those really big spiders with furry legs and little red eyes, when I go
Yuck. Yuck.
and I try to get rid of it. Usually I'll use a brush to get rid of the spider, but if I feel brave, then I'll put a glass over the top of it, slide a piece of paper under the glass, and then take it outside.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So this guy who's telling the story, he doesn't like spiders, but he's not crazy afraid of spiders, right? And when he sees one, if he feels very brave and very strong, then he'll take a glass. I don't have a glass, but pretend this is a glass, and he'll trap it. And then he'll put a little piece of paper under it, and then he'll take it outside and let it outside, okay? Do you guys think that if you saw a spider, you could put a cup on it, put a paper under it, and take it outside?
No.
No, no way?
No.
No one here is...
Crushed.
You will crush it. Oh, poor
Yes,
spider.
I do.
Okay. All right. And then, so we have furry legs. So if it's got furry legs, it's so big that you can see the hair on its legs. Then he goes, yuck. Right. Very interesting. Okay. Nastya, can you read this second paragraph?
Okay. This is quite normal, I think, but my friend isn't afraid of spiders in any normal way. She isn't just afraid of spiders, she's totally, completely, and naturally terrified of them. When my friend sees a spider, she doesn't just go, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Or run away or ask someone else to get rid of the horrible, creepy crawly. No, she screams as loud as she possibly can. She screams so loud that her neighbors worry about her and think about calling the police. When she sees a spider, she shivers,
Yeah, good.
shivers all over, and sometimes she freezes completely. She can't move at all because she's so terrified. Sometimes she even faints.
Okay, so she's a little bit crazy when it comes to spiders. Do you guys act the same way? Do you get shiver and scream?
No.
No? Okay, I see some yeah, some no. Okay, so some of you are brave and some of you, you don't like spiders at all. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have here 3 different ways of saying totally, completely, and utterly terrified, right? So those 3 words all mean that she is just completely scared all the way through. There's no doubting it, okay? And then we have another nice word, erg, right? Good, let's see. Lisa, can you read maybe this part?
Okay, but my friend had a surprise for me when we met for coffee last week. Guess what? She asked me. What? I said. I've got a new pet. Great, I said. What is it? A dog? A cat? No. A penguin?
A budgie.
Budgie? No. A rabbit? No. What then? I've got a pet spider. I don't believe you. It's true. I decided that it was time I did something about my
Phobia.
phobia.
Phobia. Mhm.
So I went to visit a doctor, a special doctor. I
Psychiatrist. Psychiatrist. Mhm.
this practiced specialist in phobias, helping people who have irrational fears to get better and live normally. He told me I suffered from arachnophobia.
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 Yeah, it's the same in Russian, right? Arachnophobia. Yeah. You guys have this word? Yeah. Okay. So she has a crazy fear of spiders. It's not just normal, but really crazy. Okay, good. Do you guys know what a budgie is? Of course, you know what a dog and a cat is. What is a budgie? It is, oh, get out of the way. It is this thing.
Oh.
So it's a type of bird, a very pretty bird. So this is normally what you would get for a pet if you don't have a cat or a dog.
My grandmother have.
Your grandmother has, okay. How many budgies does your grandmother have?
One. Green.
Just one?
Yeah.
Is it very lonely? It needs some friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to point out is this word here, psychiatrist. This is a special kind of doctor, right? And when you say this word, you just say psychiatrist, okay? I know there's a PS there, but the P is totally silent. The P is not pronounced at all. So it's not psychiatrist, but it's just psychiatrist, okay? All right, good. Okay, who's next? Arina, can you read about to there?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's an irrational fear of spiders, he said. About 1 in 50 people suffer from a severe form of arachnophobia. It's not very uncommon. Thanks, said my friend, but that doesn't help me much. There are lots of different ways we can try to cure your phobia, said the psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. Good, you did great.
First, there is traditional analysis. What does that mean? Asked my friend. This means lots of talking. We try to find out exactly why you have such a terrible fear of spiders. Perhaps it's linked to something that happened to you when you were a child. Oh dear, said my friend. That sounds quite boring. It can take a long time, said the physical
psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes, and you can never be certain that it will be successful. Are there any other methods? Yes, some psychiatrists use
hypnosis
along with traditional analysis.
Very good. So there's traditional analysis where you just talk and talk and talk, right? And eventually, maybe you figure out your problems just from talking. Do you guys know what hypnosis is? You turn into a zombie, right? And they tell you to act in a certain way or do something in a certain way. Okay, so have any of you ever seen anybody get hypnotized? No? Maybe
No.
on TV, maybe on a movie or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
TV.
Okay. So hypnosis, it's not used very often, but it's one of the ways that maybe you can help get over your fear. It can help you in some ways. Okay. How about this word, irrational? It means not thinking straight, not thinking clearly, right? It's crazy. It's a crazy fear of spiders, not just a normal fear of spiders, okay? But 1 in 50 people have arachnophobia. So maybe Eugenia, maybe you have arachnophobia. It's very, very severe, right? Very crazy. Okay, let's see. We were here, right? Eugenia, can you continue?
Okay. My friend didn't like the idea of being
Hypnotized.
hypnotized.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about that things will come out of my
Subconscious.
subconscious mind, she said. Are there any other methods? Well, said there are
Psychiatrist.
psychiatrists.
Mm-hmm.
There is that we call the behavioral approach.
Mm-hmm.
What's the behavioral approach? Asked my friend. Well, said the psychiatrist. It's like this. The psychiatrist got out a small spider from his desk. It wasn't a real spider. It was made of plastic. Even though it was only a plastic spider, my friend screamed then. She saw it. Don't worry, said the psychiatrist. It's not a real spider.
Good, good. Okay. So behavior is how you act, how you behave. So maybe in class you behave very quietly, or maybe you behave very badly and you speak all the time, or maybe when you're at home you behave very good and you always follow the rules. So behavior is how you act, how you do things, okay? So the behavioral approach is what they are going to do together. They're going to try to fix this lady's behavior. They're going to try and change her behavior, okay? Let's see. You guys are doing really good with this word. This is a very tough word. Psychiatrist. Psychiatrist. Yeah. So you guys are doing great though. Good job. All right. Kirill, you read this part.
I know, said my friend, but I'm afraid of just the same. Said the psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. A serious case, but he put the plastic spider on a desk. When my friend stopped screaming, the psychiatrist told her to touch it. Then she stopped screaming again.
Mm-hmm.
Again. The idea of touching the plastic spider was enough to make her scream. She touched it. At first she touched it for 1 second, but shivered
all over.
She shivered all over, but at least she managed to touch it. Okay, said Sci-Fi psychiatrist. That's all for today, thanks. You can go home now. That's it? Asked my friend. Yes. That's all? Yes, for today. This is the behavior approach. Come back tomorrow. My friend back next day, and this time the plastic spider was already on doctor's desk. This time she touched it again and held it for 5 minutes. When the doctor told her to go home and come back the next day she went back and the plastic spider was on her chair. She had moved the spider so she could sit down. Next day she held the spider in her hands while she sat in her chair. The next day, the doctor gave her the plastic spider and told her to take it home with her.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. So this is the behavioral approach. This is how the behavioral approach works. The psychiatrist just slowly introduces the fear, but he makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. So at first, he just puts the spider on the table. No problem, right? But she's still screaming, oh my God, a spider, right? But then slowly, day after day, he puts it on the table, and then he puts it on her chair, right? And so she has to get used to it, slowly gets more and more used to it. This is a very good phrase to know, getting used to. Okay. And so now the doctor says, take this plastic toy and take it home with you. Okay. I will read this part. Okay. So, where do spiders appear in your house? Asked the psychiatrist. In the bath, usually, said my friend. Put the spider in the bath, he told her. My friend was terrified of the spider in the bath, but she managed not to scream when she saw it there. It's only a plastic spider, she told herself. The next day, the psychiatrist told her to put the spider in her living room. My friend put it on top of the television. At first, she thought the spider was watching her and she felt afraid. Then she told herself that it was only a plastic spider. The next day, the psychiatrist told her to put the spider in her bed. No way, she said. Absolutely not. Why not? Said the psychiatrist. It's a spider, replied my friend. No, it's not, said the psychiatrist. It's a plastic spider. It's not a real one. My friend realized that her doctor was right. She put the plastic spider in her bed, and she slept there all night with it in her bed. She only felt a little bit afraid. All right? So, slowly making it bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Making her face her fear. All right? So, Uliana, can you read this part?
The next day, she went back to a psychiatrist this time. She had a shock, a big shock. Sitting in the middle of a doctor's desk, where was a spider, and this time it was a real spider. My friend was about to scream and run away, but she didn't. She sat on the other side of the room, as far away as possible from the spider, for about 5 minutes. When she got up and left the room. See you tomorrow, shouted the psychiatrist to her as she left.
Yeah, shouted the psychiatrist.
Shouted. The next day she went back, and this time the psychiatrist let the spider run around on his desk. Again, my friend stayed about 5 minutes, then left the next day. She stayed for 10 minutes, and the day after that 50. Eventually, where psychiatrist held the spider, where a real spider with long furry legs and the little eyes in his hand. He asked my friend to come and touch it. At first, she refused, but the doctor insisted.
Insisted.
And when eventually she touched the spider just for a second. The next day, she touched it for a few seconds, then for a few minutes. And afterwards, she held the spider in her own hand.
Okay, good, good. Doing great there. So if you don't know any of these words, please let me know, okay? So I will catch the words that I think you might have trouble with, but don't feel ashamed. Please tell me if there are any words. I always try to give you something that's a little bit difficult, right? So so that you learn, you can expand your vocabulary, the number of words you know gets bigger, okay? So what does it mean to refuse? At first she refused. If I were to give you some ice cream, would you refuse it? Refuse means no, I don't want it. So if I were to try to give you some ice cream, would you refuse it?
No.
No, you would take it, right? If I tried to give you some, a spider, would you refuse it?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good. What does it mean to insist? It means that you want to kind of force somebody, you want to make somebody do something, right? So maybe you're eating at dinner and you see some vegetables and you refuse the vegetables. What is your mother going to do? Your mother will insist you must eat your vegetables, right? Right, yeah. So insist means to kind of say, force someone to do something, okay? This might also be a very tough word. Eventually. Do you guys know this word?
No.
No? Okay, so eventually means it will happen eventually. Maybe not now, maybe not in 10 minutes, maybe not in 1 week, but it will happen eventually. So it means that something will happen, but it takes time, right? So here it says, eventually she touched the spider. So at first she didn't want to touch, she refused. Oh, I don't want to touch the spider. I don't want to touch the spider. And the doctor insisted, touch it, touch it. And so was it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? I don't know. But she eventually said, okay, I will touch. Right? So she touched the spider. Then she touched it for a few seconds, then for a few minutes, and then she held it in her own hand, right? Crazy. All right, Nastya, can you finish the story? Nastya, yeah.
Okay, then she took the spider home and let it run around in her house. She didn't feel afraid. Well, okay, she did feel afraid, but only a tiny bit. So now I've got a pet spider, she told me again. Well done, I said. There's only one problem, she said, and as she spoke, I noticed that she was shivering all over. Then she screamed and climbed up on the chair. She was pointing to something on the floor. Over there, she screamed. Look, it's a beetle.
Okay, good, thank you. So she's no longer afraid of spiders, but she's still afraid of beetles, right? And other insects. She makes it go crazy, okay? What does it mean to notice something? I noticed that she was shivering all over. It means that it got your attention, right? So maybe you're in class and you're paying attention and the teacher is talking, and then you notice that your friend is waving at you. Oh, hi, friend. Hi, how are you doing? So notice means that something got your attention. Okay. All right, so pretty good story, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it would work for you? Do you think you could get rid of your fear? Uliana, you don't like spiders, right?
No.
No? Okay. Do you think that one day you could have a pet spider if you had first a plastic spider, a toy spider, and then day after day, it maybe became a real one?
No.
No, no way. Okay. How about Zhenya? You were afraid of spiders too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you could get a toy spider and then keep a toy spider with you?
Yes.
Yeah, toy spider, no problem. How about a pet spider, a real one?
No. Real.
No, no. Even if you had it for just one day and then just for 2 days, and slowly, more and more, you don't think it would work? No? Okay. Okay, good. Let's do some true false here. Okay. So the narrator is the person telling the story. Is the person that tells the story afraid of spiders? He's a little bit afraid of spiders, right? He's not crazy afraid of spiders, but he's a little bit afraid of spiders, right? Remember, if he was feeling brave, he takes the paper and he puts the cup and slides it out and takes it outside. Right? So the narrator isn't afraid of spiders. I would say this one is false. Okay. The narrator's friend was terrified of spiders before getting help. Is this true or false?
True.
True, yeah, this is very true, right? So the person that this whole story is about got help from a psychiatrist, right? How about this? When this lady, when she sees a spider, she calls the police. Is this true or false?
True.
False.
False. Who said false? Who said false?
I.
Okay. Who is it that calls the police? It's not her.
Her neighbors.
Her neighbors, right. So it would be kind of weird to call the police if a spider was there. But she screams so loud that her neighbors think that something is terrible is happening. So they call the police. Right? She suffers from a phobia. Is this true or false?
True.
True. Good. She goes to see a specialist doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true as well, right? A specialist is just a very specific, special type of doctor. Okay, they used the behavioral approach to cure her phobia. Yeah, true. Okay, what are the other ways? There were 3 different ways that they talked about, right? Do you guys remember?
Completely.
Okay, completely, utterly, and totally. No, that's very good. But I'm talking about the 3 different ways that a doctor can help somebody to get over their fear. Do you remember what those were? There's the behavioral. That's one of them.
Completely.
What about this? Hypnosis. Great. Sorry. And the last one, where they just talk. Traditional analysis. Do you guys remember? Traditional analysis. That's where they just talk and talk and talk. Okay. Okay. So we had traditional analysis, hypnosis, and the behavioral approach. Okay, good. The psychiatrist shows her a spider that is not real. Is that true or false?
True.
True, yeah. In the beginning, it was a plastic spider. It was a toy spider.
Yeah.
But eventually she got a real one, right? Crazy. The behavioral approach does not work. Is that true or false?
False.
Yeah, that's false, right? She's brave now. She can get a spider in her hand. No big deal, right? Good. 1 second. I just have to move this. So the last thing, we have these 8 words here. And sometimes when you see PH together, it makes a noise, right? Photo, right? And sometimes when you see this PS together, you ignore the P altogether and you just say S, right? So which ones of these words start with an F sound? Obviously, photo has an F sound. What are some other ones?
Phone.
Phone, good.
Phobia.
Phobia. And folder.
Folder.
Good, good. Can you guys think of any other PH word that has an F sound when you start it? How about, sorry, go ahead. Hmm?
No.
No words? Okay, how about this one? Do you know this word? Physics. It's, or physica. It's the study of how the universe works, right? Good. Which ones of these words starts with an S sound?
Science.
Psychiatrist. That's a very tough word, right? Psychiatrist.
Science.
Science.
Science, good. So this is an SC together. SC almost always is an S sound. Good. And then this, yeah, this one's psychedelic. Psychedelic. Oops. There we go. Psychedelic means crazy, colorful, right? And then the last one here is psychologist. This is another special doctor for your brain. Can you think of any other words that make an S sound but don't start with an S?
It's
How about this thing that you ride outside?
cycling.
Yeah, a cycle or a bicycle, right? So a cycle starts with a C. How about this place where you go to see movies?
Cinema.
Cinema, right, good. So cinema starts with a C as well. So there are a lot of different ways in English to make this S sound. So it's very tricky, I know, but hopefully after some practice, you will be able to get through it easy, okay? So let's see, how do you feel about fear? Did you like this story?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. What did you think it was too difficult to understand? Or do you like this level of difficulty?
So.
So, okay. Anybody else?
This level.
Sorry, Arina, what did you say?
I like this level.
Okay, you like this level? Okay, good. Lisa, what do you think?
I love this text.
It's okay? So, okay, 50-50. Nastya, how did you feel about it?
This text is interesting and
Okay.
I like it.
Okay, good. And then Juliana?
This text is so hard, but it's good.
Okay, it's good, good. And then Kirill, how did you like the story?
I like it.
Okay, good. So I will find stories that are similar, and we'll keep going with this kind of thing. Okay. Okay, good. So let's see. What else can we talk about? I have a couple of more minutes. If you have to go, don't worry, you can leave. But so we talked a little bit about fears. Now that you've read this story, what are some things that people are scared of? Maybe you're scared of it, or maybe somebody else that you know is scared of it. We have spiders. Maybe I'll even put it on a new page. 1 second. Page. There we go. Okay. So what are some other things that people are afraid of? We have spiders. How about what are these things called when you're in the house late at night and all of the lights are off and you hear this? Or maybe you see them at Halloween.
Ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah. Some people are afraid of ghosts. Some people are just afraid of the dark, right? If it's too dark, maybe especially when you're very young, you're afraid of the dark, right? What are some?
Insects.
Insects. Yeah, good. You saw in the story, even though the girl is no longer afraid of spiders, she's still afraid of beetles, right? Okay. Anything else?
Height.
Heights, good. Being up very high. You feel like, oh, I'm going to fall, right? How about when you're in an airplane? Flying sometimes? Is anybody here afraid of flying?
No.
No? Okay.
Very good.
Okay, good. Who was it that said you were afraid of dogs? Uliana, right?
No.
Oh,
Nastya.
Yeah, Nastya said you're afraid of dogs. Okay, so some people are afraid of dogs. What about these long lizards with no legs?
Snakes.
Snakes, yeah. Some people are very afraid of snakes.
Deep water.
Deep water. Yeah, good. So swimming in deep water, if you can't see the bottom, start shivering, going crazy. Okay, good. Anything else? Is anybody afraid of ice cream?
No.
No, okay, all right.
No.
All right. How about clowns? Do you guys know what clowns are? They're the guy at the circus with the curly hair, the colorful hair.
Yes.
Okay. Is anybody here afraid of clowns? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Okay. Any other fears? Arina, what are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of insects, no, beetles, snakes and spiders.
Okay, snakes and spiders. So the normal stuff. Yeah. Okay. And then let's see. Kirill, what are you afraid of? Deep water?
No.
No, you can swim, no problem.
Yes.
Even in the ocean, in the sea.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Are you afraid of small spaces, elevators?
No.
No. Okay. So what are you afraid of then? Spiders?
Yes. And heights.
Heights. Okay. Good. All right. Anything else? What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of getting lost. Sometimes if you're in a new city and you don't know where you're going, think, oh my gosh, I don't know where I am. So this could be scary. Some of my other students are afraid of large crowds. This is when there are a lot of people all together, right? Are any of you afraid of large crowds?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it can be crazy, right? So New Year's Eve, everything's going crazy. People are lighting fireworks. Yes. And if you lose your friends, that's it. You don't see your friends. Okay, good. Okay. All right. Anything else? Easy peasy? Okay, so I will let you go. Thank you for coming today to today's lesson. Okay. Again, thank you very much. I will put this version. I will put the one with all of the highlights and the answers. I will put this in the drive if you remember. So have a good week. Thank you for participating. It was good seeing all of you again. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Mhm.